A $4 roll of foil does 12 jobs. And number 1 brings black tarnished silver back to a shine in 3 minutes, no rubbing, like a magic trick. Number 12. Keep the birds off your garden. It's June, the tomatoes are finally coming in, and the birds and the squirrels are getting to them before you do. The garden center wants $20 for netting and scare tape. Cut foil into long strips and tie them to stakes around the bed, or hang a few from the low branches. The flash of light and the crinkle in the breeze keep the birds and the deer off the fruit. Move them to a new spot every few days so the birds don't get used to them, and you've protected the whole garden with a few feet of foil instead of a trip to the store. Number 11. Thaw frozen meat in half the time. You forgot to take the chicken out and dinner's an hour away. The microwave cooks the edges gray and the warm water bowl is a fuss you don't have time for. Turn a metal baking sheet upside down, cover it in foil and set the frozen meat right on top. If you've got a second pan, wrap it in foil and lay it over the top too. The aluminum pulls the cold out of the meat far faster than a plate ever could. It thaws in about half the time, no power, no water. Give it the hours in the fridge if you have them. If you're thawing on the counter, keep an eye on it and cook it as soon as it's ready. It's the metal doing the work, not heat. Number 10. Throw away the wire grill brush. It's cookout season, and that wire grill brush is the most dangerous thing in your kitchen drawer. The bristles come loose, end up on the grate, end up in a burger. There are real emergency room cases every summer from a swallowed bristle. Crush a sheet of foil into a tight ball. Grip it with tongs and scrub the warm grate with it. It scours off the char just as well, and there are no bristles to lose. A grill brush is $15 and a hospital trip you don't want. This is free and safe for the food the grandkids are about to eat. Number 9. Sharpen dull scissors. The kitchen scissors that crush the package instead of cutting it. You're ready to toss them. Fold a sheet of foil over into 6 or 8 layers, then just cut through it. Full strokes, 8 or 10 of them. The edges hone against the metal, and the scissors bite again. Now the honest word. This is a touch-up, not professional sharpening. It won't fix a chip, but for everyday dull, it brings the edge right back and it costs you nothing. Number 1 is still coming. The silver, the water, the 3 minutes. Number 8. Bring a dead remote back to life. The TV remote quits. You've changed the batteries twice and it still won't work. Before you buy a new one, and a smart remote is not cheap anymore. Try this. Fold a tiny square of foil, just a few layers thick. Tuck it into the battery compartment where the spring contact sits between the battery and the metal. Often the contact has corroded or bent and the foil bridges the gap. The remote comes back to life. Keep it snug, not stuffed, and use this for low-drain things like remotes and clocks. You just saved yourself a new remote and an afternoon of setup. This buys you time more than anything, enough to order the right battery contact or decide if a new remote is even worth it. For a remote you only use at night, it can last for months. Just don't force it. If the foil won't sit flush, take it back out. Number 7. Keep celery crisp for weeks. You buy celery, use 2 stalks, and the rest goes limp and rubbery in the drawer in a few days. Straight into the trash. $2 a week, gone. Wrap the whole bunch tightly in aluminum foil before you put it in the fridge. Celery gives off a gas that makes it go soft. Plastic traps that gas. Foil lets it escape while holding the moisture in. Wrapped in foil, it stays crisp and snappy for 3, even 4 weeks. Works on broccoli and lettuce too. Think about how often you've bought a bunch, used it for 1 pot of soup, and watched the rest turn to rubber in the drawer. At $2 a bunch every week, that adds up to real money over a year for the price of a few inches of foil you already own. Number 6. Iron clothes in half the time. You've got a basket of shirts and an old iron that takes forever. Lay a sheet of foil flat on the ironing board, right under the cover. Then iron on top like normal. The foil reflects the heat back up, so you're ironing both sides of the fabric at once. The pile goes twice as fast and your arm thanks you. A roll of foil under the cover you already own. Quick. Drop your city in the comments. I want to see how far this channel reaches across the country. I read every single one. Number 5. Move heavy furniture alone. You want to rearrange the room, but the couch won't budge and your back is not what it was. Furniture sliders are $20 at the store. Fold a square of foil into a thick pad and slip it shiny side down under each leg or corner. On carpet, the slick foil glides. Push the couch with one hand. One caution. On hardwood, don't use foil, it can scratch. Use a towel there instead. But on carpet, this saves your back and $20. Number 4. Scrub baked on glass dishes. The casserole dish with food cemented to the bottom. Steel wool scratches the glass, and those scour pads rust into orange crumbs in a week. Crush a piece of foil into a ball. Add a drop of dish soap and a little warm water right in the dish. Scrub with the foil ball. It lifts the baked-on mess without scratching the glass, and it never rusts like those $5 pads in the drawer. When the ball gets grubby, you make a new one for free. Rate this list so far, 0 to 10, write in the comments. And number 1 is coming. Tarnished silver, a bowl of water, 3 minutes. Looks like magic. Number 3. Zero cleanup painting. You're touching up a room and you dread the cleanup more than the painting. The doorknobs, the hinges, the paint tray. Wrap the doorknobs and hinges in foil so you don't have to tape and trim around them. Line the paint tray with foil before you pour. When you're done, peel the foil off the tray and throw it out. The tray underneath is clean, no scraping dried paint out of the ridges. The knobs unwrap spotless. The worst part of painting gone. One roll covers a whole weekend of touch-ups, and you keep the brushes wrapped in foil between coats so they don't dry out. Number 2, rust spots on the chrome faucet. Those little orange rust freckles on the chrome of the faucet or the towel bar. Sprays don't touch them. Tear off a piece of foil, dip it in plain water and rub the rust spot gently. Just foil and water. No chemical, no spray. The aluminum reacts with the rust and lifts it right off the chrome, leaving it bright. And that little reaction, aluminum pulling at metal in water, is exactly the secret behind number 1. Keep watching. Number 1. Tarnished silver, bright in 3 minutes. The good silver, the serving spoons, grandma's flatware, gone black in the drawer. You've got a jar of pink polish that takes an hour of rubbing, piece by piece, and your fingers turn gray. Forget the polish. Line a bowl or the sink with foil, shiny side up. Lay the silver on the foil so it's touching. Sprinkle a tablespoon of baking soda over it. Yes, that orange box again, and pour boiling water over the top until everything's covered. Now watch. The black lifts off the silver and moves onto the foil. You can watch it happen through the water. No rubbing. The tarnish is a sulfur film, and in this hot bath, the aluminum pulls the sulfur off the silver and onto itself. It's a reaction, not elbow grease. 2 to 5 minutes and a whole drawer of silver comes out bright. A jar of polish is $8. A jeweler's cleaning is $40. Rinse the pieces in clean water and dry them with a soft cloth when they come out. That's the only work in the whole thing. And this is the same reason my grandmother wrapped her good silver in foil for storage. Tucked against the foil, it tarnishes far slower in the first place. She wasn't being fussy. She knew the chemistry without ever calling it that. 1 roll, 12 jobs, $4. Now tell me, foil, baking soda or vinegar? Which roll or box runs your house? And number 1 borrowed a spoonful of baking soda to do its magic. That orange box has 10 tricks all its own, and that video's on your screen right now. Tap it.